First flight, dual 30mm, Me-262. Scott's going to record. It's already running. This one only runs on 3S. The A10 could run on 2S if you really wanted it to for some reason. Alright, here we go. Quiet. Pulsing? I don't know. Interesting. I keep losing you. I think it's because I'm down near 25% throttle. Oh, he trusts me. My filming is absolutely awful. So low airspeed, high thrust, it absolutely pitches over. It will almost loop in a stall if you push it full vertical. So definitely a scale flyer here. Very scale on the roll at 70% rates. That's what Eflite recommended. Oh wow, it does not bleed speed well. Jeez. Okay, post-flight, Gens Ace 800 milliamp 3S. It's 3.76, 3.77. That was 4 minutes 15 seconds. So 5-minute timer is recommended in the manuals. Definitely spot on. All right, first flight. Actually, I did 2 flights. So first and second flight impressions. First and foremost, I actually programmed delayed speed in my radio for throttle. I like doing that with my jets because it gives kind of a realistic spool sound, but I actually recommend it for this plane. So servo setup, scroll over to speed, and I got my speed set at 6 for the throttle. It means if you go absolute full blast, there's a, well, I don't know if it's a 6-second delay, but there is a delay. And the reason that matters is that the engines are slung so low on this guy that when you hit full throttle, it actually pitches up. So the center of thrust is below the center of gravity, and on a normal propeller plane you'd have down thrust, but on this they're just straight and level. So you hit thrust and it pitches up, and it's very noticeable at low airspeed. So if you do it, especially in a vertical climb, and you punch full power, it loops for you, no elevator input, which I expected actually. The Banana Hobby version does that too. That was a big complaint. I've heard people talk about the Freewing 70mm doing that, and I know the real one did that to a point. But smoothing out the throttle helps a lot. I ran 70% rates for most of the flight. It flies very scale. This is not a sport jet. This is not a Viper 70. It's going to fly very, very scale, and it is slippery. It does not slow down when you try to land it. It is quick. It carries the energy. But just like any other jet, you want to maintain power, especially because quick increases in power at low airspeeds will cause pitch up. So if you're doing a turn on base, you definitely want to carry that power through it and do a long approach, because this guy will pitch up, and I had it actually tip stall from applying too much power too fast and too slow. So understand that it flies like that because it's a scale model of a plane that also flew like that. But flies great. It's what I wanted. I wanted a little scale jet, and this is it. So I'm going to do a couple more flights on it, and yeah, I'll give you a 3 and 4 flight ideas. This time I'm going to run it without the landing gear. Okay, no landing gear. We are going to fly it with safe mode on. So there's something in the manual where it says it knows if you're hand launching it. You hit full power, you give it a chuck, and it will automatically pitch up for you. So we're going to try that. So just making sure safe mode is on, that'll help. Yep. Very nice, very solid takeoff with that safe mode on. I don't like safe mode, but I highly recommend flying with safe mode. Wow. Trying to do air show passes, it doesn't knife edge very well, it doesn't have a whole lot of rudder authority. That was a good one. Oh, right into the sun. Yeah, so again, any movements you feel like you're going to need more thrust, apply it beforehand so you keep the speed, especially in the turns. Otherwise, you'll get that nasty pitch up. That was 100% rates with aileron and rudder kicked in together. So pretty snappy if it needs to be. Try it again. Whoa. All right, that stall was induced by motor power. I had full down elevator, and it still stalled out on me. So if you go into a steep climb, come off the power, ironically. Definitely needs to be flown scale. You can't do verticals with this very well. I'll show you here a little closer to the camera. Full power, vertical, into the sun. And that pitch control was uncommanded. Rolls itself over. Starting it pretty low, still have speed in the turn, coming off with power, down to idle. Ooh, kind of nasty tip stalling.
Stopping.
All right, 30mm Me-262. Final thoughts. This is after flight 3 and 4, without the landing gear. And I will stand behind what I said earlier about applying a speed delay to the engines to stop the sudden shift in pitch. It helps. I recommend it. On my DX8E, I have it set at 6.0. I don't think that's 6.0 seconds, but it helps a lot. Smooths everything out. Full rates flies a little more sporty. Definitely use full rates for the landing because the flare requires it, especially if you're in grass. I landed 70% rates, and the nacelles are fine. They've got that hard plastic on the bottom of them there. You can see it's glossy. But I definitely could not flare as well with no gear, landing in the grass at 70% rates, and flipped it over. Nothing was broken, it's just in the grass. But definitely, when you land, recommend 100% rates. Maybe just 100% on the elevator if you don't like flipping rates while you fly, and then dumb everything down to your taste. Without the landing gear on it, I will again emphasize power before you need it, because this has a very strong pitch up tendency, and it will pitch up even if you don't want it to. I tried some relatively low speed climbs and then increased to full power, and full nose down elevator did not stop the climb. In fact, I stalled on one of them. So you definitely need to have power before you think you need it, and fly with quite a bit of speed behind you, because when you need full power, if you're in low airspeed, the surfaces will not be able to counteract the fact that these nacelles are mounted under the wing. They swing you upwards, right? They don't have any down thrust in them. So you need to fly at scale. It needs to be flown with speed. The landings are a little quick. I would not recommend this for a first jet. It is a little squirrely in the low speeds. It tip stalled one time on my landings when I flared really well with the 100% rates. So you can't fly it slow. You can't do any weird high alpha stuff. It's a scale jet. You gotta fly at scale. But if you were looking for a small scale jet, God, that is probably the best looking small scale jet that I've ever seen. And of course, before I forget, the safe mode. I despise safe mode. I hate flying with it. Never have learned to fly before safe mode was a thing, but on this jet, if you're gonna hand launch it, use the safe mode. Wow, what a game changer. Full power, and I expected a really sharp nose up. It did not. It flew straight and level, probably did a good, 10-degree climb, and it was rock solid. On my remote, it automatically hooked itself up to the A switch. So this was safe mode off, safe mode on. If you're going to hand launch the thing, please, please, please use safe mode. It works amazing. Flip it off after you launch the thing, but it will save you some heartache, I can already tell. So very good scale details. I am noticing a little bit of separation on the canopy here. It's just a quick glue job, honestly, on the back. But like even the canopy has little vents to keep it cool. It looks sweet. It flies well enough. The sound isn't as bad as the A10, but it looks fantastic. So as long as you fly this jet like a scale model and not like some kind of, you know, acrobatic sport jet park flyer, I think you'll have a lot of fun with it, and I would recommend it at $200 if that's the kind of flying you're into. So thanks for watching. Likes and comments are appreciated. I do answer any questions that are dropped down in the comments, so hit me up down there, and we'll see you next time.